Hey guys, this is Denny.
And this is James from TeaDB, and today we have episode number 87, a roasted oolong.
Yeah, we're doing a Tieguanyin from Teavivre.
Yep.
Show this package off. Very sweet.
Have you had this tea before?
No.
I have not either,
No.
so.
Yeah, should be an interesting foray into a new but familiar face. Yeah, I haven't had this yet, but I think it'll be interesting. I haven't been drinking a lot of oolong recently, so...
You have not been?
I have not been, no. So
I have not been either, so.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah.
So, real quick, we're brewing with about 6 grams of leaf, 100 milliliter gaiwan, heating up our brewing vessels. And, James, you were marking earlier, this looks really roasted, and I agree.
Yeah, it does look fairly roasted.
Yeah.
In fact, I'd be curious. It looks like the harvest time was in 2013. So, usually when you roast these things, especially if it's a pretty heavy roast or a pretty intense roast, you're going to want to give it a little bit of time. It will improve a little bit over the next couple of years, just so it can overcome that roast and you get more tea flavor instead of just fire in the mouth.
So what you're saying is basically the roast in the early stages of being roasted is very strong, and it slowly mellows out a little bit over age.
Mm-hmm.
And you have experience with that because maybe you've done a whole month of aged roasted oolongs.
I mean, I've drank my share, and yeah, I mean, it's especially true for Yancha woolly oolongs, because those are, especially the higher end of those, are usually given a pretty high fire roast. Wow, it's taken
really dark.
Quite a while to open up. You give that a nice long. Is this going to be a rinse or a steep?
That's a rinse.
Okay.
And
yep, smells very roasted, a little nutty.
Yeah. Ooh.
Pretty rich, strong fragrance coming off of it.
I'm getting kind of like, Cinnabon flavors out of this.
Cinnabon.
Smells really good, actually. Hold on. I think we'll go ahead and brew this one.
Cool.
You're right, I did give it quite a long rinse, and that's because, especially with these high roasted oolongs, they tend to just stay real tight.
Yeah, you got to hit it pretty hard, and that's the same thing with aged oolongs that are rolled or real tightly rolled too. You just got to keep on hitting it, and that's one of the reasons why Yixing can be particularly helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. And go ahead.
Yeah, and you can see the leaves have really started to fill up the gaiwan.
Ooh, it's so dark. Gosh, it actually smells really nice. It smells like plummy and cinnamony. Actually kind of smells in season. It's right around Thanksgiving, a little past.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You guys are probably seeing this in January, though. So.
I know. Yeah. Yeah. Are we future teller? We're in the past right now.
Yeah, for all we know, the world might be over.
But we're still on YouTube's, on the TeaDBs.
Yeah.
All right.
It makes life worth living.
Cheers.
Cheers.
It's sweet. It's light still.
Yep. A lot of that caramelized, roasty sweetness on it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. Caramel is a great description. It's very. I'm surprised at how sweet this is. It's kind of saccharine sweet. Yeah. So contrasted that to sort of a roasted woolly oolong, which can be extremely roasted, but doesn't get nearly as sweet of a flavor. This is pleasant. I don't think the roast is too intense by any means. I'm still getting a little bit of the kind of plum fruit experience going on.
And I would think similar to pours, how as you steep it out, the storage will go away. It will be kind of the same thing for the roast here. If we steep this out 4 or 5 times, the last few steeps will probably have very little of that original kind of caramelized sweet roast still left in the tea.
And so normally when you're drinking this particular tea, you're getting a lot less of a roasted Tieguanyin. Are you, James?
Well, honestly, I don't really drink green or roasted Tieguanyin. So for me, it is neither.
Cool. I don't have that much experience with this type of tea either, frankly, which is funny because it seems like one of the more famous oolong types, but yeah, I don't have that much experience with it. We're going to go a little bit longer this time just because there was no hint of astringency in that last brew, and we want to really open the tea up. So again, this is kind of a feel thing. If you think, oh, man, that was almost too bitter last time, maybe you want to pull off the heat or pull off the time a little bit. And that's just up to your personal preference. Get in there. I get, like, really cinnamon and really sweet flavors.
Some of those, like, spicy notes.
Yeah, totally. Like chai tea sort of.
I can understand that,
kind of zone a little bit.
It doesn't have the same mineraliness that, like, a wooey would have, for instance. Right. How do you think this tea would do for coffee drinkers?
It's funny. I was thinking about this the other day. I don't know if there's a single tea that could replace the experience of having coffee in the morning. That being said, this tea in particular does bring a nice bold flavor. I'd say it's a warming tea for me at least.
Yep.
So I think that's plus in the sense that it's kind of achieve what the goal of coffee would be, which is to wake you the F up, and or have a great delicate experience of a delicious bean, which is also legitimate. Don't get me wrong. But I think most people probably want something that's kind of bitter, intense in the morning, maybe a little viscous. And so I think the sort of ripe pu'er category fits really well in there, depending on your palate. Raw, I'm not that kind of a person. I could never drink raw pu'er in the first thing in the morning. I would just vomit everywhere. It just gets my stomach so hard.
Maybe we should do that for next TeaDB episode. First thing in the morning.
God, this is me my stomach. Wouldn't it be very entertaining?
It can be episode 88 is us drinking it. Episode 89, the aftermath.
You're dark, man.
Yeah, for me, I think the steep is considerably better. Actually, it's a lot more balanced, a lot rounder taste.
Totally, a little tart.
Yeah, pretty pleasant.
Yeah. In terms of this fitting in sort of the roasted oolong category for you, James, where would you place this? Is this kind of an outlier? Is it sort of right smack dab in the middle?
Of the teas I have had that are kind of like roasted Tieguanyins and stuff like that. And this is a mainland one. It's not a Mujia Tieguanyin, which I've had quite a bit of, which is the Taiwanese Tieguanyin. I don't know. It seems pretty typical.
And the Taiwanese one is greener usually, right?
No, it's actually darker. It's just a little bit... I don't know exactly what the processing differences are, but they'll have terroir differences, obviously, of growing in Anxi versus Taiwan.
Yeah. We're going to give this one another extra bit of time. If we were brewing this in Yixing or some sort of clay teapot, we probably could use a little bit less time, and we might reduce a little bit of the astringency at the tail end of this, but we're kind of hovering right at that sort of edge. But you want to extract the most flavor you can, obviously, while maintaining sort of a balanced flavor and making sure it's not bitter, not astringent, things like that. So, yeah, this is good. I think it sits by itself. I could see this being drank with a meal, too.
Yeah.
Or with dessert. I don't know if I would drink this on a daily basis. I think it's it's pretty intense. I don't know if I would even session this very much. I think it's kind of a nice couple of cups and then maybe table it or throw it over some ice if you're inclined to do so. I know that's maybe sinful for some of you.
Yep.
Sue me.
How do you think it would do as an intro roasted oolong for folks?
Yeah.
Pretty well, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dong Ding is just the most kind of like obvious first choice for me because it's so sweet and it carries all of the sort of nut roasted flavors that you would get. So I think this is a little bit more complex than that, in a good way.
So it'd be kind of a nice complement to charcoal roasted dong ding. Yeah, because it is definitely different. How would you actually compare this with the dong ding?
This is sweeter. It's not as nutty. I think I get more of the sort of spicy flavors out of it. And when I say spicy, I don't mean like cayenne pepper, but like more of that chai spice, kind of like cardamom and cinnamon and things like that. It's also sweet and plummy, so I think it's definitely accessible. Yeah, and it's balanced. It's not, I think it's got enough age on it where it's matured. So I think it would be a great intro tea for folks, people that want to get accustomed to some Tieguanyin. They can. I don't drink it enough to have a strong opinion about how it stacks up to others, but I think it's pretty good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Me too. So where could someone find out more about tea?
Well, there's this website, www.teadb.org. TeaDB.org. Check us out. Subscribe to our YouTube channel here, I think. And we also have a newsletter, which we keep on talking about and haven't done anything with yet.
We may have done something by now.
That's true. We're in the past.
Yeah.
You're in the future. We're in the past.
Yeah.
It's tricky. It's like Inception. Anyway, it's like Inception? No, it's not at all.
No, you're wrong, bro. It's like the Matrix.
Also not true. It's more like Back to the Future, but we're going to stop it there. Check us out on our YouTube channel. We vary in degrees of seriousness, obviously. And subscribe to the videos, follow along on the blog, comment, leave us your impressions, drink along with us, and until next time.
Yeah, thanks for watching, guys.
Cheers.